Is the tasks are before executing the task, some kind of a prediction is done and the tasks run on different nodes or something?
Uh, Somewhat similar, but the speculative execution is a very important phenomena of your entire Hadoop cluster. Wherever you come across this one, in Hive or Pig or Scoop, anywhere, speculative execution is something. Say, for example, you submitted the job to the cluster. You know, for that job, probably 20 map tasks are running on 4 nodes. 20 map tasks are running on 4 nodes, out of which one map task is taking more than expected time. Then your overall job execution is going to be impacted, right? Until and unless the entire map phase is been finished, I'll not be able to go to the reduce phase. So because of one map task, your entire job gets hampered or gets impacted or gets affected. It is not the right thing. That is why what we do is immediately the same task is going to be initiated on a different node where the other 2 blocks are available, right? You're getting my point?
Yeah.
So when the same task is initiated on the other nodes also, the framework takes care of which task is going to finish first out of these 2, because it is the same task running on different machine. Which task is going to finish first, that is going to be taken into consideration, and the other one is discarded. With the speculative execution, you can control the execution of your, the performance of your MapReduce job. That is the reason why map task speculative execution, you can see that here. If enabled, multiple instances of same map task may be executed in parallel. You got the point, Arun?
Yeah.
So what is the advantage with that? Whichever task, maybe we have load on the cluster, but in terms of the job, it is efficient, right? Based on
Yes.
maybe a few tasks are going to run additionally on the cluster for this particular job, but that is going to improve the efficiency. If some task is taking more than expected time, the overall job is going to be impacted. Not to happen that one. Depending on your need, you need to enable this one, speculative execution. When this is enabled, it is going to make sure that the tasks are going to be executed in parallel on the cluster, so that the performance is being retained. Make sense?
Yes.
Job tracker meta info max size, number of map tasks to complete before reduce tasks. I think this property, you'll be really convinced. Number of map tasks to complete before reduce tasks. So honestly, theoretically we say reduce comes into picture only after the complete map tasks are being executed. But practically, if you see, even before the completion of the map task, because most of the data is ready, right? What is because
But 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 isn't the output of the mappers going to reducer? So all the mappers should be completed, right?
So completed, but in the meantime, your partitioning and shuffling activity, if it is happening parallelly, then my sort is going to be done, then the reduce activity is going to be initiated. They have mentioned here reduce activity, but it is not the reduce activity. It is activity after your map phase. So what we have after map phase, your combiner activity is there, right? Your partitioner activity, and then shuffle and sort phases. The actual reduce phase will be executed only after the successful completion of all the map tasks. But there are intermediate phases, right? In the MapReduce programming model, we have only two phases, we say. But precisely between map and reduce, we have other phases also, which we consider as part of the reduce phase, not as part of map phase. So, if those needs to be initiated or executed, after 80% of the map tasks been executed, then I want the reduce activity to get initiated. You see here, fraction of number of map tasks in the job which should be completed before reduced tasks are scheduled for the reduced tasks. What are the reduced tasks? Your combiner is nothing but the local aggregator. It is also developed by using reducer class only. The only thing is that is local or specific only to that node, not at the cluster level. At the cluster level, it is reduce phase, but at the node level, it is combiner phase. After combiner, we have partitioner, then shuffle and sort, and finally that comes is your reducer phase. I think you got the point around here.
Okay. But why is it a fraction? I say fraction there, 0.8.
Percentage
Should be a
of
whole number, right?
80%. It includes 80%.
Oh, it's a percentage. Okay.
Yeah, zero. That value is 0.0 to 1.0. And you also can see default number of reduced tasks per job. That also we can map reduce task timeout, map task Java optional base. So you look at all these properties, each property has its own role, and most properties with default values absolutely works fine. Most properties with the default values is going to work absolutely fine. But I just advise you to just go through all the properties. Just try to at least understand how this property is meant for this one. You need not remember, but at least you'll have an idea. At times when it is required, you'll get immediately in the mind, oh, this kind of feature is there. But what is that property? What are the possible values? We can get it dynamically that time. But at least knowing what are the possibilities in terms of your properties, that is important. So I advise you to go through all these configuration at every service level, then it will be more effective. So at every service we have the chart library. At every service level we have the chart library. Every service. And these charts, any of these charts, you want that to be added to your dashboard, you always can do that. You want those to be added to your dashboard, you always can do that. So number of charts provided by your Cloudera manager at every service level, right? So I advise you to go through that one in the context of your whatever the cluster that you choose, development or testing or production. Properties are going to remain same. There will not be change in the properties. But their applicability to the respective is important. So I advise you to go through these things. Over a period of time, you will have hundreds of properties. And some properties which you feel, uh, plays a key role, those properties you note it down somewhere under the respective category. That is under HDFS, maybe 10, 20 properties, under a yard, couple of properties, so that those will be useful to you during interview. They may not be asking precisely what property, what are the possible values and all, because anyhow, Cloud Array Manager provides you the detailed description and the usage of those properties. So at least that time you can go through and fix, oh, this is going to influence like this, then how and what values needs to be given to that property, we can easily identify. That should not be a problem, right? And then comes is this is all about your cluster. Think all the services, and you also notice the Cloud Array Management Service. As part of the Cloud Array Management Service, what instances we have, and just make a note of each instance, their role and their activity. That's it. So you need not worry. So Cloud Array Management Service has got all these roles, and each role, whatever you are seeing here, contributes its share in getting all the metrics. Each has got its own configuration again. Activity monitor. I think you are seeing this one, activity monitor. So even this also will have, see, that is what it is saying, service level configuration. Don't make changes, but at least go through the configuration details. Nothing but your properties. Go through these properties. So as part of your cluster, the Cloud Array Management Service, under Cloud Array Management Service, what roles we have, and go to each role and try to identify what configuration you have specific to that role as part of this Cloud Array Management Service. Very important service. This is a service with which you are getting all the informations into your dashboards and all. These agents basically, Cloud Array agents need to work on the respective nodes to pick the data and show it in the easily understandable form, so that actions can be taken on the respective. So this is all from the cluster perspective. Then we have seen hosts, reports. Of course, utilization report is one thing. I think I've already shown you. If not, now you can see. Utilization report, how your cluster is being utilized in terms of CPU and even in terms of your memory, how your cluster is being utilized. That you will be able to. And in terms of reports, we have a huge wide variety of reports. And in terms of the hosts, I think you see here, on each host, what are the roles available? Now, that itself is going to be huge stuff. On each node, what roles are running? That is important to us. And how those roles have been configured to work as per your expectation. So you see here the same, from where we came here, same. Now here you can always add new hosts to the cluster. You can always add new hosts to the cluster. You can always add that one. And you have all the properties. And you say here, you can always remove from the cluster, or host, decommissioning and commissioning, start roles on this host. So when I say start roles on that host, because Cloudera at the time of setting up of the environment for this particular node, these are the roles or the services that need to be deployed. We need to have that map in the mind. How and where you maintain or manage these services, the critical aspect. So you can get that one. Hosts, all hosts, roles, host templates, this or you parcels, all those things. Diagnostics, you can have just work with your logs only. And audits purely what is happening with your cluster, what's happening with your cluster for the last 30 minutes or 1 hour or 2 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours, 1 day, 7 days. You get all these things. That is all about your audits. And coming to the charts, we have the chart builder with which you are able to build the charts. You are able to build the charts and add those to your personal dashboards or the dashboard that your Cloudera manager provides by default. We have seen, and we need not worry. The chart builder is very easy to use. All those are available. Select all available there to you. You select whatever you need, and based on that you are going to build the query. And based on that query, the data is going to be retrieved from the respective service or role and then shared with you. Make sense, friends? Arun?
Yeah.
So coming to the backup replication and all we have seen just before. So overall, I say, you know very well, more and more we explore things, we may refine our skill set. So I advise you to go through all the things, even with the pseudo cluster. Maybe only the replication thing we are not able to see, but all other things you will be able to see in the same style. So I advise you to go through these things at least with your pseudo cluster Cloudera manager. So most of the properties are accessible to you. I mean the configuration details. Property is nothing but the configuration details. So I call with the name property because it is a key value pair only. And again, which is a part of your configuration file, that you have property. For that property, what is the name and what is the value to that property, right? So go through these things, friends, so that you can gain confidence and when you start working. I think, Arun, you said what is that cluster that you have? Hortonworks, right? If I'm not wrong, or
Mapper.
Mapper. Okay, Mapper. So you I mean, you're already working on it, or you're a part of that, or you get in touch with the team regularly. What is that, Arun? How you're associated?
I'm going. I'm going to be. I'll start actually managing the one of the Mapper clusters. So when I say managing, I'll have the people, administrators, and everybody there.
Oh.
So I'm getting a 24 node cluster. It's currently being racked. We got the servers. They're currently being racked.
Oh, great. How that setup? Who has taken care of setting up that one? I mean, you have separate team and all for that.
Yeah, the Unix Linux team in Wipro, we have outsourced our data center to Wipro, so they basically rack them up.
Oh.
And then once it is racked and the disks are encrypted, They will hand over the servers to us, and then we will install the mapr and we will do all the configurations.
Or you ingest the data and all, that all you will take care.
Yes, yes. So basically, we have a 32 node cluster currently in production. So we are going to start, once this cluster is built, we will enable mirroring on the 32 node cluster and start mirroring into the 64 node cluster. And
Oh,
once everything is mirrored, we'll start decommissioning the 32 node cluster.
okay, 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 okay. Got it. So why they want to set up separately? Why can't they enhance the same 32 node cluster?
No, you mean add nodes to the 32 node cluster?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Well, the problem is the versions.
Oh,
The Java version, the Hive, they're using 1.2 or 1.3.
oh,
They're not comfortable with upgrading that and everything. So right now, if I try to install the latest version of mapr, I'm getting the latest 2.1, I think, Hive 2.1. And even the Java is latest, everything is latest. CentOS is also, I'm getting the latest.
yeah, yeah.
I
CentOS
mean,
is
the
6.7.
Linux. Yeah.
6.7
So,
CentOS you'll get. Yeah.
yeah. So we want to keep it separate,
Hmm.
and then do the cutover.
Okay, okay. So you'll be a part of that one immediately.
Yes. Once a cluster is turned over to us, then we'll start working on it. Even Mani and Sunil will be working on the same thing.
Oh, Mani and Sunil also will be on the same.
Yeah, they're part of my team, so we'll all be on the same thing.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Yes, really.
That's really good. Yeah. So, I mean, now because I'm expecting, I don't know really, but once you start working on it, Arun, I mean, I know that it is not accessible to you from outside. Even if it is accessible, it is not ethical that you share it or something like. But let me know. We will connect once again. Once you get into that, let me know so that we can connect one day, probably your weekend or something like, and see what additional things you have, what specific things you have in Mapper, which makes it unique or something like.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things in Mapr is totally different from both the Cloudera and Hadoop.
Okay.
They don't have the name node concept at all. They have what is called containers and container location databases. So basically, it is high availability, and they allow NFS mount, which means I can just mount the cluster on any server and treat it like just like a NFS file share.
Oh, okay, 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 okay.
So like in Cloudera, you copy to local and then a copy from local you do into HDFS, right?
Yeah,
In
yeah.
Mapr, you can directly go into the uh, the HDFS by just dragging and dropping the file through a mapping.
Okay, 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 okay.
And the other thing, as I said, is there is no name node, so it is high availability, and the mapper is actually storing files in 8K blocks. So
Okay.
basically, it allows random read write to the files in HDFS. Whereas in
Oh,
most of the other HDFS, it's immutable, right? This is like 8K
yeah,
blocks. You
yeah, yeah.
can do a random read write. It's not an append only file system. It's a random read write file system.
That's pretty interesting. I don't know. I mean, maybe if you get the access to that one, at least we can have a look at it because I don't know
Yeah,
whether it is possible to
yeah.
see. Yeah. I mean, just to
Once
have a
the
feel, I don't know, not.
okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, we can do that. I can once the development or test environment is available.
Yeah.
I will not be able to get the production one, but
Yeah,
once
yeah,
the
true,
development and test, we can take a look at it.
true, true. So that we
But
can have.
yeah, it's totally different. I mean, he's using. he's using it's just a distributed file system,
Hmm.
and the way it is designed is like totally different from Hortonworks and the other, and he writes it directly to the disk. There is no middle layer, so the performance is very good.